Today I'm going to show you how I created the artwork in the last video we posted where I had text inside a heart. So I'm going to be doing this in Vectr today. So of course the first thing to do is open Vectr. That is a free online graphics editor. So it's really easy to use and really basic. It does have more limited tools than some of the other programs, but it still works great. And I'm going to show you a little hack for doing this shape in Vectr, even though it doesn't really allow to paste text inside a shape. So instead I'm going to use a masking technique. So the first thing to do, of course, is to just open a 8.5 by 11 document, and then you want to make sure that your fonts are there. I'm using Montserrat and About Love today. So if you don't already have them, you'll need to get them. You just use that little plus button by the fonts and you can add your own fonts, or you can use one of the ones that they have. Next, I need my text, so I'm just going to search for the lyrics I want. I'm doing the song Cover Me Up right now for today, and I'm just going to copy those lyrics, and I want them in all caps, but Vectr doesn't have that feature to make your text automatically all caps, so I'm using this website that converts text to all caps. So I'm just going to remove all my line breaks and make it one big long paragraph. And then once that's done, I can just select all the text and click the uppercase button. And then that's going to give me my uppercase text that I want for my heart. So this of course is all optional, but that's just my preference. So now I just went back to Vectr and pasted the lyrics into my document, into my text box. And now I'm just adjusting my text box to be the size I want. This font is just a little bit too big, so let me select that and make it a little bit smaller. And then I want to use Montserrat semi-bold for this. The bolder the font, the easier it is to wash out, of course. So I'm just going to make that a little bit bolder. And then again, I'm just adjusting my text box to be about the size that I want my heart to be, because I want my text to completely cover my heart so that when I make the mask, there's no gaps. So I'm just adjusting my text box to be about that, and then go to my shapes, select heart, and then just click and drag and it'll automatically draw a heart for you. So I'm just going to select my heart and then make it the size I want. So let's see, I'm going to use this dimensions box, and this is 6.5, but I think I'm going to actually do a 7-inch heart today. So I'm going to change that to 7 inches, and that looks great. And all my text is covering my heart, so that looks really good. So after adjusting my text a little bit, I'm just going to right click and then select convert text to outlines. And now that made it actual artwork instead of live text. Now I'll select both the artwork and the heart by just dragging over both pieces of art. And then I'm going to use the little dialog box on the top that says intersect. And now that kind of put a mask on my artwork. It just left the artwork where the two pieces of art intersect each other. And now I have this heart that has lyrics. So the next part is to make my better together part of my artwork. So I'm just gonna put a box right over the top of my heart. And then I'm just gonna change that fill to white. So this is where I'm gonna put text over the top of. So I'm just going to now adjust that and move it to where I want it to be on my artwork. And this is looking a little bit too wide, so I'm just gonna narrow that up a little bit. That looks really good. And now I'm gonna type my better together text. So I just type that out, better together, and then select it. And I'm gonna be using, again, the font About Love today. So I'm going to just select my About Love font and then adjust basically it to be the size that I want. So you can either leave this as a live text box, or if you want, you can right click again and convert it to artwork. It just depends how you like to work, but I'm leaving this as live text right now. So I'm just adjusting this to be like the size I want and to, look the way I want it to look. So that's looking pretty good. And then I'm gonna add our names. So the About Love font comes with, it's called glyphs, and they're kind of like extra bonus characters. So in some design programs like Illustrator, or I believe even Design Space, you can access a glyphs palette right in the app. Vectr doesn't allow that, but you still can use character glyphs or font glyphs if you want. So in order to do that, I'm just going to convert my font, or change my font to my About Love font. So if you're on a PC, you're gonna go to your actual computer search bar and search for character map. If you're on a Mac, you'll search for font book. So that'll bring up the character map. You just have to select your font in that drop down. So I'm gonna select About Love. And then you just look for the glyph that you want. So I'm looking for a glyph of a heart that's gonna connect my Greg name with my fawn name. So a little heart that'll connect in the middle. So I'm gonna test both, what it looks like with the G with the heart at the end, or the F with the heart at the beginning, and I'll see which one looks better. So all I'm doing is searching for both of those glyphs that I want. So I just search for the F and the G, and then they go in that little box down there, and then I'm just gonna select copy, and that copies those two glyphs to your art, or to your, pasteboard or whatever. And then I'm gonna go back into Vectr and paste them. And now I'm just gonna play around and see which one I like better. So first I'll put the F in there and see how that connects with the G. It's gonna depend on what names you have, what's gonna look better. So that obviously doesn't look the greatest, it looks okay, but I think with the G it'll look a little bit better. So let's try that one instead and then put the F back in. Yes, that looks a lot better. It looks more natural. And so that looks really cute. So I'm gonna just now adjust this to be the, like size and kind of like where I want it on my artwork. And then I will just add our anniversary date, March 18th, and adjust that the way I want it to look. I'm gonna center it and then kind of put it in between our two names. And that's all there is to it. Now I am ready to print. So again, in Vectr, it doesn't allow you to do the traditional, like in Design Space or Illustrator, you would be able to create a heart shape and then paste your text into that heart shape so that it would flow inside your heart. Vectr just doesn't allow you to do that, or at least the free version doesn't allow you to do that. So by masking your artwork instead of pasting into a shape, it gives you the same effect. It still looks really nice. And this is a really easy way to do it. So I hope this tutorial helped. I will link our Artwork for Beginners playlist in the description below, and that has all of our Vectr tutorials in it.